Running LLMs locally reminds me of flying a helicopter. It's exciting, it's noisy, and it takes a while you actually get off the ground. When you're loading up large context, say 100,000 tokens, depending on hardware you may need to wait minutes until you see the first token printed. Compute power is everything during this phase. And then decode kicks in and different laws of physics start to apply. Every possible optimization you can do to the setup can be felt locally. Choosing the right model and the right architecture for the task. Finding the optimum weights quantization and a solid model build, one which is small and nimble, but still precise enough. Compressing the KV cache or leaving it uncompressed. Every detail matters when it comes to optimizing inference for speed. But there's another critical axis to weigh when you're running LLMs yourself. It's which runtime engine to use. Should you go with GGUF and llama.cpp ecosystem? Or should you use MLX quantized models if you're on a Mac? The answer isn't trivial. So in this video, I will do real speed comparisons and provide some down-to-earth numbers, together with things to watch out for, so you know what to weigh when choosing MLX versus GGUF. Though I'm on a MacBook myself, I really like llama.cpp ecosystem models. They are bleeding edge, you'll always find the latest possible one. And the llama.cpp contributions are unbelievable on its own. Want to try TurboQuant? Here's a fork. And my video if you're curious. Want to try RotorQuant? Here's a fork of the TurboQuant. And a video too. You get the idea. It's very active, customizable, and you can tune the runtime to your heart's content. By the way, if you're enjoying this, leave a like and subscribe. But there are some wild claims floating around that MLX turns out way faster than llama.cpp backed runtimes. Ollama blog claims that the recently added MLX engine increases prefill speeds by more than 50% and almost twice for generation. This sounds incredible, and we will check that. But then there's this MLX wrapper, which claims being 224 times faster than LM Studio. Wait, is there a small comma somewhere here? 224... Nope. The times of throwing numbers at the wall. You can't compare cache prefill against cold and cache compute and call it a fair benchmark. Laws of physics still apply. We'll see 438,000 tokens per second prefill soon. You can do it practically with any runtime, as long as caching works correctly. Let's call it a new claim record. The last one was held by RotorQuant, but it was for specific part of the inference, and they had a fascinating paper to back it up. Either way, if I do download it and there's at least twice the speed bump on unseen context, I'll share it with you. Stay tuned. But for now, let's focus on less exciting options, where the results are pretty impressive on their own. Let's compare performance of these 4 runtimes and see whether switching to MLX really improves the speed. For the baseline, we'll use llama.cpp, and to get multiple perspectives on MLX performance, we'll test 3 different engines. MLX LM, Apple's own Python inference library. It can crash your Mac in an instant. LM Studio, which uses MLX LM, but in a safer way. And a fairly recently introduced Ollama MLX engine, which hides some magic in it. Back from cold water dip, me and my GPU are ready. I'll run this test on a benchmark that I created for the previous episode, where I was searching for a model that recalls large convoluted source files best. Check it out if you're curious. First, let's get the baseline numbers from llama.cpp. Just to be clear, this isn't using Apple's MLX framework. And before I forget to tell this again, I'm running this benchmark on my M3 Max 36GB. It has seen it all and still did not melt. Let's load Qwen 3.6 MOE model with 128K context size at full KV cache precision, and then run the test. We'll send the model a direct request with a huge source file attached, and we'll ask it to print 2 functions from that source. First call will take a while, because the model has to prefill all tokens of that source file. That's when the KV cache gets built. This cold run will give us our prompt processing and token generation performance that we're comparing. Then we'll ask it to print the second function, which will test whether KV caching works correctly. If it does, it will be lightning quick. And we'll do this with half of the source file and with a complete one, so we know the speed at different context lengths. Let's run it and see first results. Let's send our baseline llama.cpp half of the source file and ask it to reproduce 20 lines after opening brace of this getWiFi basic function. This is that 49,000 tokens prefill data point. Let's see how long it will take on this MacBook. And we got the data. 86 seconds. That's roughly 1 minute and a half. And now it's sending the same half of the source file, but asking it to print the second function, getAPN settings. And this one happens very quickly, in only 6 seconds. That's the power of a working context cache. It was able to restore a checkpoint at 47,000 tokens, and only 2,000 tokens had to be computed fresh. Let's restart llama.cpp to clear the cache, and repeat this experiment a few more times to get more data points. We want to make sure the measurements are stable, and it turns out this is fairly easy to achieve with llama.cpp. But as we'll soon see, the same cannot be said about MLX runtimes. Finishing the prefill for the second run here, and we have the results. 88 seconds for prefill and 32 tokens per second for generation. What we can see is that both prompt processing and token generation speeds are almost identical to the previous run. I'll restart the server and run the test one more time. Fast forward and we have the third runtimes. Perfect. Stable numbers. Now let's push them harder. Let's run the benchmark with the full 336 kilobyte source file. That's about 95k tokens. We'll see one fascinating aspect about the prefill speed. Restarted the server and launching the test. This time we get the result about 5 minutes later. Here, it took 305 seconds compared to 84 seconds earlier. But wait, we barely doubled the context size. So why did the latency jump almost 4 times? That's because prefill isn't linear. This Qwen35B model has 40 layers in total. 32 of them use gated deltanet, which is fast. But 8 layers are full attention, and their compute cost increases quadratically with context length, which explains the latency increase here. I repeated the benchmark 2 more times. And now we have all the 6 data points for the llama.cpp baseline. Let's switch gears to MLX backend. We'll hit some failures, but it'll be worth it. I loaded MLX LM Python server here and launched the benchmark on half of the source file. And instantly what we can see missing here compared to llama.cpp is real-time speed reporting. That's one of the main reasons I made my own performance tracking tool, as we need benchmark portability across runtimes. And I was about to say we have the first results, but just look. At the second function, the whole context is being recomputed again, from scratch. MLX LM doesn't support prompt caching for this model? At least this is how it looked like at first. But then I tried again without restarting the server. And just look at that! Both prompts returned instantly. I thought, maybe my memory limit for the cache is too low. I had set it to protect macOS from aggressive MLX LM behavior, which you'll soon see. So I updated it from 3 GB to 4, restarted the server and ran the test. And I could feel it's coming. I quickly grabbed my phone so I can film the screen for you. But right at the moment of tapping the camera app, it happened again. MLX LM crashed my Mac with a red screen of death. Ouch. After restoring the session, thank you iTerm, we can see the results. Though we only got the smaller context runs, the numbers look wild. 66 seconds for prefill and 43 for generation. Compare that to llama.cpp, which had 86 and 33. That's about 23% higher for both stages of the inference. I wish it could load my full context though, and the checkpoints would work consistently, and wouldn't push my Mac off a cliff. We must try LM Studio. By the way, if you're enjoying this, leave a like and subscribe. It's using the same MLX LM version under the hood, but it never crashes. Let's load the model. We're running full precision KV cache today. And let's run the test with half the source file and 49k tokens. Brum brum brum, fast forward, and we have the first number. Oh, that's interesting. It completed the prefill in 85 seconds. That's the speed close to llama.cpp and not MLX LM. The generation speed is very good though, even faster than with MLX LM. And we hit the same issue again. Prompt caching isn't working for the second function, ain't good. I added an estimate of prompt processing tokens per second to this CSV file, reloaded the model and ran the test one more time. The results are consistent. Prefill speed is similar to llama.cpp, but generation faster than MLX LM. I noticed one discrepancy. LM Studio ignored my request to not use thinking for these prompts. Though that shouldn't have made the generation faster. So will it run with a full source file? Or will it crash my Mac like MLX LM? If this doesn't work, we still have the Ollama card. And we really need a breakthrough here. Oh no. LM Studio didn't crash. That's great. But it started swapping towards the very end of the prompt prefill. And swapping to disk is very slow. In total, this MLX-backed run took 363 seconds. Compare that to 300 and less from llama.cpp. So what do we have? MLX LM is fast but crashes, LM Studio is fast for generation but starts swapping. This means we have one final chance to find a capable MLX runtime. Let's try the recent Ollama MLX engine. It stirred everything here. I open up Qwen 3.6 model page in Ollama. But I just couldn't find 4-bit ways for MLX. I only saw NFP4, but that's NVIDIA's format. Decided to ask Gemini. Wow, it says it's the flagship quantization for Ollama's MLX engine. As I've hit quite a bit of hallucinations from Gemini lately, I decided to double check with Claude. Claude says Gemini is wrong and it has nothing to do with MLX or Apple. So I pushed back on Gemini, and Gemini stepped down and admitted it hallucinated that connection. So I asked Grok, which said NFP is native to Ollama. So helpful. At this point I started naming my screenshot from these models with nonsense. But I asked where are they getting this data from, and found this blog. Frankly, after reading this paragraph, I got confused and felt like an LLM myself. Does it support NFP4 on Apple or on something else? There's only one way to find out. So I got Ollama and tried to load the model. When it loaded, I double-checked the logs and found that it's really using MLX Runner. Woohoo! And I launched the benchmark. Fast forward and first results are in. Token generation speed is good, like of MLX LM. And we can see that the prompt caching is working well too. However, time to first token is 100 seconds. That's slower than llama.cpp. We need more data points. The caching works beautifully. I need to restart Ollama. It's unloading the model without me asking. I don't like that. I need full control during these benchmarks. I ran 17 tests with Ollama, stopping it manually between the runs when needed to trigger cold cache testing. Both half and full context tests passed successfully. Nothing crashed, and swap was not hit. The reason I ran so many tests is because the prefill numbers were fluctuating like crazy. I want to think that's because of MLX's just-in-time compilation. Unlike llama.cpp, MLX compiles metal kernels lazily, so there's a certain warm-up period until performance stabilizes. Though it's just a theory, we'll need more digging. So what did we get? On the left you can see filtered, cold prompt, half-context runs. On the right, full-context ones. To avoid measuring this warm-up effect, I feel it's fair to take the fastest numbers for comparison. And do that for all the previous runtimes too. The prefill speed of these 3 runs are almost as fast as MLX LM. And the right side we can only compare to llama.cpp, because other runtimes failed. So let's gather all the results and see the conclusions. Llama.cpp is the baseline. At 49K context, it does 584 tokens per second for prefill, and 32 tokens for generation, while LM Studio MLX implementation gave a very similar prefill speed to llama.cpp. But its generation performance was higher of them all, which is a bit surprising, like plus 51% surprising. But I couldn't use it for the full context test because of swapping kicking in. On the other hand, running MLX LM directly turned out to be the most impressive for Prefill at 745 tokens per second. It left all the runtimes behind. But its caching wasn't working consistently, and it crashed my Mac with a bigger context. And here we come to Ollama with the latest MLX implementation. Its prefill is 19% faster than llama.cpp at 49K context, and a whopping 34% faster at 95. But these are its best case numbers, and I wish it was less fluctuating in performance, but it looks very promising still. While its generation speed matched MLX LM. Compared to the baseline, 45 versus 32 tokens per second is a solid 40% increase. And at a bigger context, it's 36%. But we need to keep in mind that NVFP4 and MLX models are a bit smaller than Q4 K M. In this case, it's about minus 13%, which increases decode speed on its own. Still, it's very impressive, and I think we have a winner for today. Good job, Ollama team, on the new MLX runner. It's safe to run, prompt caching looks to work reliably, and it delivers speeds almost up to the level of MLX LM. And if you want cutting-edge prefill speed, run MLX LM directly. Just know what you're dealing with. But I'll need to test Ollama from different perspectives, as many questions left unanswered. How NVFP4 models perform quality-wise? Can I find the models I need in the curated list? How they behave with tools, and so on. If you're interested, subscribe and come back for more. And I hope you enjoy this deep dive. Are you using Ollama MLX Runner? What about MLX LM directly? Any other MLX runners? Don't hesitate to share in the comments below. I wish you a great day and see you next time.